On July 12, 1970, at 9 a.m., the members of the Fukuoka University Wandervogel Club embarked on a journey from Hakata in Kyushu to Hokkaido. This expedition presented a valuable opportunity for the newly established Wandervogel Club to achieve remarkable accomplishments and gain recognition as an official club. Their objective was to traverse the Hidaka mountain range, starting from Mount Mimuro and reaching Mount Pedagari. The members were Kazutoshi Takamasu, the leader, a 20-year-old third-year student from the Department of Economics, Shunji Taki, the sub-leader, a 22-year-old third-year student from the Faculty of Law, Morio Koji, a 19-year-old second-year student from the Faculty of Engineering, Yoshiharu Nishi, a 19-year-old first-year student from the Faculty of Law, and Yoshitaka Kawahara, an 18-year-old first-year student from the Department of Economics. It had been 11 grueling days since the treacherous journey from the Hidaka mountain range had begun. On July 25th, they finally reached the halfway point of their expedition, the formidable Mount Kamu. However, their limited experience had caused them to fall significantly behind schedule. Determined to catch up, they made the daring decision to ascend and descend Mount Kamui, known as the highest and most challenging section of the range. Conquering this mountain was not only essential for completing their traverse, but also for their ultimate goal. Their first encounter with the bear took place at Nainosawa Cirque, their campsite before the ascent. From a distance of approximately 7 meters, Takamasu, the group leader, spotted a bear observing them. At first, they didn't perceive it as a threat. However, as the bear gradually approached and began rummaging through their backpacks, devouring their food, a sense of fear began to creep in. In a state of panic, the members attempted to retrieve their backpacks and made noise with their utensils to scare the bear away. Little did they know that these actions would soon lead them into a nightmarish ordeal. On the evening of July 25th at 9 p.m., the bear launched a second attack. Startled awake by the bear snorting, the exhausted crew members watched in horror as it first created fist-sized holes in their tent before eventually retreating. Throughout the night, they endured a terrifying experience, taking turns to keep watch every 2 hours. As dawn broke on July 26th, they awoke to clear weather, but none of them had managed to sleep due to their lingering fear. Around 4:30 a.m., just before they were about to depart, they faced a third attack. Engaging in a desperate struggle with the bear, for 5 minutes, the members clung to the tent poles and fabric as the bear relentlessly attempted to enter. Realizing the situation was becoming untenable, the leader made a crucial decision. He ordered 2 men, Taki and Kawahara, to descend and seek assistance from the forestry office, requesting the aid of hunters. If they had chosen to descend together at that moment, there might have been no casualties. The 2 members started their descent and encountered another mountaineering party, the Kita Hokkaidake Friendship Association. As they also faced an attack from the bear, presumably the same one, and planned to descend, they sought assistance from the other party, who provided them with supplies such as food, gasoline, and a map they no longer needed. Armed with these provisions, they returned to their 3 remaining comrades. On July 26th at 1 p.m., the 2 members reunited with the others on the ridge of Kamuekudake. At 3 p.m., they decided it would be safer to set up their tent on the ridge. However, the respite was short-lived as they faced a 4th attack at 4:30 p.m. In a frantic rush to descend in the dark, the bears swiftly closed in on them from behind. The belief that bears struggled to descend slopes proved to be a complete misconception. With incredible speed and agility, they were more than capable of pursuing their prey, even on steep terrain. The bear targeted Kawahara first, pouncing on his back. "Damn it!" Kawahara's cry of despair echoed through the air as he was dragged into the dense undergrowth. Meanwhile, Koji became separated from the rest of the group during their escape, and found shelter in a different location. The remaining 3 crew members called out to them repeatedly, hoping for their safety, but received no response. In the early morning of July 27th, dense fog descended, reducing visibility to less than 5 meters. Under such conditions, finding their missing comrade or noticing the approach of the bear became exceedingly difficult. Despite searching for the 2 missing members until around 8 a.m., they ultimately made the decision to descend. Regrettably, this decision came too late. Just as they started their descent, the bear suddenly emerged a few meters in front of Takamasu, who happened to be leading the way. With no time to waste, Takamasu made a split-second decision and veered off in a different direction, drawing the bear's attention away from Taki and Nishi, allowing them a chance to escape. At approximately 1 p.m., the two survivors reached Yatsunozawa Dam construction site and immediately reported the incident. Afterwards, they made their way to the Nakasatsunai police station, situated at the foothills. On the following day, July 28th, a search and rescue team was organized to locate the missing members, only to discover the horrifying remains of the 3 individuals. Their clothing lay in tatters, with little left intact. One had suffered severe face mutilation, while another had their abdominal organs forcefully expelled. According to the autopsy report, all 3 deaths resulted from exsanguination caused by cervical spine fracture and rupture of the cervical artery. The fatal injuries were concentrated in 3 areas: the neck, face, and groin. It was surmised that the bear attacked them from behind as they fled, causing them to fall forward and be bitten in the buttocks and anal region. Koji, who had become separated from the group on July 26th, had returned to the tent alone, leaving behind a note conveying his fear. On the evening of the 26th, when the bear made its appearance, it stood approximately 5 meters away from me. I swiftly moved sideways and took cover under the high pine tree and crouched down, catching my breath. I couldn't see what was transpiring below from my vantage point, only hearing the sounds emanating from the bear. Once the sound subsided, determined to seek refuge, I cautiously descended the slope for approximately 5 minutes. My eyes fixed on the ground below, and there it was, just 20 meters away, an ominous bear. Its gaze locked onto me, and without hesitation, it charged forward. Panic surged through my veins as I darted away, desperately trying to evade the relentless predator. I tumbled and rolled, fear propelled me forward. I refused to glance back, my focus solely on reaching the sanctuary of the tent ahead. With a final burst of adrenaline, I dashed inside, seeking solace and protection. But to my dismay, the tent was empty. It was a cruel realization. I was alone, trapped in a dire situation. My heart pounded fiercely as I swiftly grabbed a sleeping bag and sought refuge within its snug confines. I took a moment to steady my breath, the silence of the tent enveloping me. Yet a gnawing unease persisted. The rustling of the wind, the subtle whisper of the grass, every sound heightened my senses, preventing me from finding respite in sleep. I yearned for the rescue team to arrive, for their presence to bring salvation to this perilous night. The 27th of July arrived, with an early morning awakening at 4 a.m. Curiosity beckoned me to venture outside, but the lingering dread held me captive within the tent. Surveying my surroundings, I stumbled upon a camp stove, a glimmer of hope amid the darkness. It contained a ration of food, providing some solace in this desolate place. Yet an unsettling feeling settled me as the gas above emitted an unpleasant odor. The minutes ticked by, and it was already 5:20 a.m. The premonition of another bear encounter loomed over me, compelled to seek shelter once again within the safety of the sleeping bag. Oh, how I longed to return to Hakata, to escape this harrowing nightmare. At 7 a.m., I made the decision to descend the ravine. With a meager supply of food hastily prepared, I donned borrowed shirts and shoes found within the tent. Stepping outside, I cast my gaze upward, only to spot the bear merely 5 meters above me. Escape seemed impossible, so I resigned myself to remain hidden within the confines of my tent. Time passed, and the clock reached around 8 a.m., yet rescue seemed elusive. The indecipherable scribbles on my notes mirrored the uncertainty of our situation. Had the other team members already descended the mountain? When would help arrive? And then his note abruptly ended. Koji's lifeless body was later discovered, torn apart in a gruesome scene of devastation within the confines of his tent. On July 29th, a team of 10 hunters successfully tracked down and exterminated the bear that had instilled fear in the hearts of the 5 members. Upon examining the contents of the bear's stomach, it was revealed that it had not consumed any human flesh. It had simply tormented the group, as if engaging in a sadistic game. Reflecting on the ordeal, 3 conclusions were drawn regarding what went wrong and the actions the group should have taken. Number 1. When encountering a brown bear, taking back belongings that were rummaged through is considered an act of aggression, as brown bears are highly possessive animals. Number 2. They encountered a brown bear but did not immediately descend from the mountain. Number 3. They turned their backs to the brown bear while fleeing. Brown bears have a tendency to chase after those who flee, with their backs turned, much like dogs. Today, the lifeless body of the bear is on display at Hidaka Hiking Center, serving as a chilling reminder of the harrowing encounter.